Hi, I'm South Burlington City Manager Kevin Dorn. I'm here to talk to you today about voting during our upcoming voting season here in South Burlington. I say voting season this year because ballots are going to be mailed out to all voters beginning on February 10th. You'll have that time to vote up until our traditional annual meeting day of March 2nd. On that ballot will be 3 items for municipal government for the city. One will be to vote on 2 seats that will be open for our city council. The next will be to vote on our fiscal year 2022 budget. And the third will be to authorize tax increment financing debt for the completion of Garden Street. So I'm going to talk both about what the project is and then talk about what tax increment financing is. Let me start by showing you a diagram of the project. And I hope you can see this. Here you'll see Dorset Street, Williston Road, and Market Street running through the middle. And then you'll see an orange and blue line. This is the future Garden Street. It connects into Dorset Street next to Healthy Living, and it connects into Midas Drive up here near Al's French Fries. The orange depicts the area that the city is responsible for. The blue depicts the area that the developers of City Center are responsible for. So just to orient you, I am standing adjacent to Market Street, right at the intersection of Garden Street. And if we pan down this way, you will see the future Garden Street that is the responsibility of the developers and landowner to complete, all the way down to the small bridge next to Healthy Living. And if you've turned into that road on Garden Street, you've seen a small bridge and blockades there. This section will go down to that small bridge and connect to Healthy Living. Then if we pan up the other direction, you'll see an already completed portion of Garden Street. Beyond the snowdrift at the end, the city needs to construct the connection over to Midas Drive. So why don't we pan back here. So that's the project that is being contemplated. What it will do is create another way to get from Dorset Street to Williston Road or to Heinsberg Road, allowing drivers to avoid having to go through the busy intersection at Dorset Street and Williston Road. So with the developers, the city working with the developers, we can complete this connection and create a much needed relief for both Dorset Street and Williston Road traffic. I said tax increment financing debt, and I want to explain that because this is very important. The state allows us to use this tool to finance this debt, and the important thing for property taxpayers is that it will not add any burden to the property tax. Again, this is a $4 million project. Let me tell you how tax increment financing is going to pay for that and avoid having any impact on the property taxpayer. If you look over here, again, we're on Market Street, you'll see an undeveloped area of City Center. That area is currently being taxed by the city for its value. If we pan over here, we'll see the Champlain Housing Trust garden apartments. Obviously, this development is taxed at a higher rate. What this allows us to do is the state has allowed us to use the incremental difference in what we tax open land for and what we tax developed land for to keep that money and pay for the infrastructure we need to support City Center, in this case, Garden Street. So it's the incremental taxes that we get, the increase that we get when City Center is developed out, that is dedicated to paying for this infrastructure construction. Now, this will be the fourth time that we've used tax increment financing to complete projects in City Center. Part of the money was used to pay for Market Street. Part was used to pay for City Center Park, and part was used to pay for our new public library and City Hall, which you will see nearing completion in the distance. With tax increment financing and with the ability to keep those incremental revenues, we can pay for this debt without having to ask the taxpayers for additional money. And by doing so, we can complete this badly needed piece of infrastructure. So during voting season, that's what Article 3 is about. Thank you for spending this time and listening to this.